Picasso and your parents had a fantastic friendship. What were your impressions of Picasso when you met him?
I was very fond of him. Of course, as a child, I didn't know his level of importance or anything like that, but we invented a game called bullfights. And so I was the bull and I would put on my horns and he was the toreador with his jacket as a cape, and I would go thundering across the room and he would wait and he would jump out of the way at the last second and I would go into the wall. And after a while I figured there's something wrong with this strategy. So I stopped and I watched and I waited, and when he wasn't looking I crept up and I bit him. And he turned right around and bit me straight back. Wow. And in that moment, before I started to yell, my mum heard him say, "Tiens, that's the first Englishman I've ever bitten."
Your mother, Lee Miller, was a fantastic photographer, renowned to be so absolutely stunning.
In this painting you can see part of what makes that legacy really important and enduring today, because there is this tremendous explosion of colour here. There's the energy, there's the excitement there. And that is how she was as a person. That's the personality that people remember. They remember somebody they wanted to be around because she was so exciting, but also she was so intelligent, she was smart, that people like Picasso just found absolutely irresistible.
When do you think it was that Picasso and Lee Miller first met?
I'm pretty sure that she met him in a casual sort of way when she was in Paris with Man Ray from 1929 to 32, but it didn't really make much of a big deal until they all arrived in the south of France together. And this was a really important moment. You have to recognize that just a few weeks before coming to the south of France, Picasso had finished painting the masterwork of the last century, Guernica, the greatest anti-war painting ever made. And on the other hand, there was the joy of being in Provence, in this little hilltop village of Mougins, along with his closest friends and women who he found incredibly beautiful. And one of those, of course, was Lee Miller. Picasso was fascinated by the women of Arles, and in fact, of course, Van Gogh, he painted his Arlésienne, Madame Ginou, he painted her 6 times. So I think there was a kind of a repetition of that adoring of the beautiful women. But I think more important was the personality. She had this vibrant, friendly, warm, sexy personality, and that was stimulating, and that's what they loved. And I think today what carries forward is that people look at her as a figure who broke the mold, broke the constraints that were in place for so many women.
Remedios Varo, a visionary surrealist, one of the few women to shape the movement from within. In Revelación, time bends. The clockmaker sits at his bench, surrounded by grandfather clocks, each presenting a quarter past midnight. Facing the revelation through the window, encountering a new conception of time. An avid student of the sciences, Varo probed the thresholds of the natural and supernatural in her mature work, as seen in the superb Revelación painting, which masterfully and marvelously renders the flow and flux of time. Painted in 1955, this crucial period marks the pinnacle of Varo's career and manifests the technical skill and speculative imagination for which she is renowned.
Claude Monet's Peupliers au bord de l'Epte comes from the artist's iconic popular series of the 1890s. Across this concentrated series, Monet wields bold colors, skimming the edge of abstraction and revealing a radical vision of landscape that anticipates the shifts of 20th century art. The power and beauty of transient nature encapsulates the viewer, a row of grand poplar trees standing over the Epte River, in relief to the brilliant sunset captured at the moment of its capitulation, its yielding to dusk. In his time, Monet shifted his practice to painting in series, an evolution monumental to his own oeuvre and a theme which would be re-explored by artists in the 20th century. Employing Monet's iconic palette of striking sapphire, emerald, and gold, one of his most evocative color harmonies. Following the French Revolution, the poplar emerged as a symbol of liberty, its Latin name populus, meaning both people and popular. By 1793, tens of thousands had been planted across France, celebrated as living emblems of the Republic's spirit and the enduring grace of the rural land. Acquired in 1892 by the legendary champion of Impressionism, Paul Durand-Ruel, this work remained in his family for over 60 years, and with its subsequent owners for 65, a lasting testament to its grandeur. Peupliers au bord de l'Epte stands as a regal, modern abstraction and an important example of one of Monet's defining and triumphal series paintings.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Christie's. I'm Adrian Meyer and we're delighted to have you with us tonight at Rockefeller Center for the sale of Leonard and Louise Riggio's collection. Leonard built Barnes & Noble's, the largest bookstore chain in the world, and together with his wife Louise launched the Dia Beacon. We are deeply honored to have been entrusted with the sale of the collection, an anthology of 20th century masterpieces amassed over 4 decades. Welcome to all of you joining us online from across the world. And before we begin, please remember that the purchase price payable is the sum of the final bid plus the buyer's premium and all applicable sales or use taxes. Bidders should note that the auctioneer may open the bidding on any lot below the reserve, either by placing a bid on behalf of the seller, as the auctioneer may continue to bid on behalf of the seller up to the amount of the reserve, either by placing consecutive bids or by placing bids in response to other bidders. The sale website includes symbols and notices for any lot subject to a guarantee, fully or partially financed by a third party. In addition, each of lots 15, 18, 19, 27, 31, and 35 has a guarantee, fully or partially financed by a third party, who may be bidding on the lot and may receive a financing fee from Christie's. Lot 24 has been withdrawn. For more information and full details of buyer's premium rates, conditions of sale, and all catalog symbols, please see the sale catalog on christies.com. And with that, we should start right away with lot number 1, the early Balthus shown here on the screen. Jeune fille en vert et rouge, Balthus's wife, this beautiful painting formerly at MoMA. And let's start here at 1,500,000, 1,600,000, 1,700,000, 1,800,000, at 1,800,000, at 1,900,000 with Nick Sinclair right away, at 1,900,000, at 2,000,000 with you, Bo, at 2,200,000, at 2,200,000 now. With you, Nick. Against you, Bo, 2,400,000 with Joanna Flauna, Vice Chairman of the Department, at 2,400,000, at 2,400,000 against you, Nick, and Bo, coming back, Bo, at 2,400,000, 2,600,000 in the room now with the gentleman, against the 3 of you, at 2,600,000. At 2,600,000, it is on the aisle, Joanna. At 2,600,000, still with you. Against you both, Sian, at 2,600,000 for the first lot of the Riggio collection. It's now or never, Sian. Or Christian. At 2,600,000 coming in. 2,700,000 with you, Kat. At 2,700,000, we'd like 2,800,000. At 2,700,000 now. With Kat Whiting here on your right. At 2,700,000. With a third telephone, are we sure? At 2,700,000, it is here. Against both of you here on my right, I'm going to sell it. Sian, it's now or never at 2,700,000. Sian, give me a shout. 2,750,000, would you like 2,800,000? At 2,750,000, in a new place with Sian Chaco, Deputy Chairman of the Department, at 2,750,000. On the 4th telephone. Do you want to try 2,800,000, Kat? At 2,750,000, it is with you, Sian. Against you, Kat, Joanna, Nick, Alice, at 2,750,000. Last chance in the room for the Balthus, and selling to you then at 2,750,000. Sold to about 2,511. The Giacometti bronze, this beautiful lifetime cast, also formerly at MoMA, lot number 2, Le Couple, conceived in 26, and let's start here at 2,600,000, 2,800,000, 3,000,000, at 3,200,000, at 3,200,000, 3,500,000, with Giovanna, the chairman of Christie's Europe, at 3,500,000 here on the first telephone. Ahead of you in the room at 3,500,000, at 3,500,000, with you, Giovanna, and it's ahead of you in the room for 3,500,000 for the Giacometti. At 3,500,000 and 750,000, no, at 3,500,000. Still with you, Joe, and selling against you, Jesse and David, at $3,500,000. Against the phones on my left. I'm going to sell it at 3,500,000. It is still with you and selling at 3,500,000. Sold to you to about 71.25. On to lot number 2, the Gorky, beautiful early work from 1943, Virginia Pastel. And let's start you at 1,200,000, 3,000,000, 4,000,000, 5,000,000, 6,000,000, at 1,600,000, 1,700,000 right away with you, Nick, at 1,700,000, 1,800,000, At 1,000,008 now, 1,900,000, back with you, Nick, now. At 1,000,009, with Nick Sinkwe against you in the room. At 1,000,009 now. At 1,900,000. It is here against all of you on the phones. Still with you, Nick, for the Gorky. At 1,000,009. At 1,900,000. I'm selling it to the next telephone. 2 million with you, Jonah. At 2 million with Jonah Flam now. 2,200,000 in a new place with Sonia Rutt, the head of the LA office. Welcome, Sonia. At 2,000,002 now. Nick, Jonah, at 2,000,002 with you, Sonia. At 2,300,000. Would you like 2,4? At 2,000,003 with. Would you like 2,4, Sonia? At 2,000,003, it is still here with Jonah against you. At 2,3, one more. At 2,000,003 then, going to you, Jonah. Fair warning, Sonia. And selling for $2,300,000. Sold to 3 to paddle 24.15. Lot 4, the Ryman. 1962. And let's start here at 3,002,000, 3,005,000, at 3,008,000 with Max Carter. At 3,008,000 with Max Carter, Vice Chairman of the Department, 4 million, of course. At 4 million now. At 4,200,000 now. At 4,200,000 with you, Max. At 4,200,000 against you, Elio. At 4,200,000 ahead of you in the room. At 4,500,000 with you, Vanessa. At 4,400,000 with Vanessa Fusco, the head of department here. At 4,400,000 in a new place. At 4,400,000 against you, Rachel and Max. At 4,400,000 on a new telephone for the Ryman against you in the room. At 4,400,000 and against you in the back. At 4,400,000. At 4,400,000. It is with you then and selling 4,500,000 with Alex, latest global president here in New York, at 4,500,000 against both of you. 4,600,000. At 4,600,000 now. $4,750,000. At 4,750,000, Vanessa. 4,800,000. At 4,800,000. With you, Vanessa, at 4,800,000. Alex, at 4,800,000. 45. And 50. At 4,850,000, Vanessa. At 4,850,000, 4,900,000. 5 million. At 5 million, with you, Alex, against you online, against you, Vanessa. Do you want to try one more? At 5 million, selling otherwise to Alex's phone. At 5 million, for you, Alex, and selling it at $5 million. It's yours, 5 million. Battle 2260. Lot 5, the superb portrait of Lee Miller, 1937, amongst the finest of the series, coming up for the first time at auction. And we should start here at $13 million, at $13 million, $14 million now, at $15 million, at $16 million with Max Carter, at $16 million on the first telephone, at $16 million with Max Carter now, at $17 million with Sian Chotko, at $17 million, $18 million, at $18 million, $19 million with the gentleman in the room, at $20 million, at $20 million. 22 million with a lady at 22. Would like 24. It's against the three of you now. With the lady, against you, sir, at 22 million. At 22 million. 23 million. Back with you, Sian. Against both of you. At 23. At 23 million. Against you, sir. Against you, madam, at $23 million. With you, Sian. Against you, Max, at 23. Are we sure? At $23 million. Fair warning. At 23 million. I'm going to sell it to Sian's phone for $23 million. Last chance to both of you. If you want to try 23,500,000, it would be now or never. Selling otherwise to Sian's telephone at 23,500,000. Thank you very much at 23.5. Back here in the room at 23.5. Thank you, Julien. At 23.5. It's back with you, madam, at 23,500,000. With you here, against you, Sian. I can't hear those numbers. At 23.5, with you. I'm going to sell it at $23,500,000. Last chance, everyone. At 23.5, Olivier, Beau, Margot. At 23,500,000. One more, Sian. Selling otherwise to the room. For the Lee Miller. First time up at auction. 24 million. At 24. No? At $24 million then. At 24 million. It's back here against you in the room. At 24 million, are we sure? No? At 24 million. I'm going to sell it here on the telephone, no interest, at 24 million, and selling it to you, Sian. Are we sure? At 24 million, going to you, Sian. Last chance, Connor, Jesse. Sold to about 24.26 for 24 million. On to lot 6, the Kerry James Marshall. Lot 6, and let's start here at 2,224, at 2,400,000. At 2,400,000, 2,600,000 with Alice de Roquemorel, the head of private sales in Europe, at 2,600,000, at 2,600,000, at 2,800,000, of course, at 2,800,000, 3 million, at 3 million, back with you, Alice, at $3 million, ahead of you here, at $3 million, with you, Alice, and selling, last chance in the room, 3,100,000, at 3,000,001. At 3.1. No? We sure? With you then, Sarah. And selling at $3,100,000 for you, Sarah. Paddle 2431. On to lot 7, the Giacometti Femme de Venise, the first version of the series, shown at the Venice Biennale in '58. And for this beautiful lifetime cast, let's start here. Let's start here at 8,500,000, 9 million, at 9,500,000, at 9,500,000, 10 million with Alex Rutter now. At 10 million with Alex Rutter in the first telephone at 10 million. At 11 million. At 11 million now. 12 million. At 13 million. 14 million. At 14 million, back with you, Alex, now. Against you in the room. At 14 million. For the Femme de Venise, with you, Alex, ahead of you in the room. At 14 million, 15 million with Marina. Welcome. 14,500,000 with Marina, the head of the Sao Paulo office. Welcome, Marina. At 14,500,000. At 14,500,000 now. No. It is for you now in a new place on the phone, against you in the room. At 15 million, welcome to you. At 15 million now, back in the room against both of you at 15. at $15 million. With you, sir, way in the back, seated at $15 million, and ahead of you in the front, at $15 million. It is with you for now. At $15 million, I'm going to sell it at $15 million. Fair warning, at 15, it is still with you, and selling now the Femme de Venise for $15 million. Marina, no, sure, at $15 million. Congratulations, and your paddle number is 278. De Magritte, Les Droits de l'Homme, lot 8 from 1947, beautiful early work. And let's start here at $9 million, $10 million, $11 million now, at $11 million, at $12 million with you, Vanessa, at $12 million with Vanessa Fusco, at $12 million here on the telephone, at $12 million, at $12 million with Vanessa Fusco for the Magritte, at 13 million. $500,000. No, at 13,500,000 then it is with you and selling for $13,500,000. Are we sure? At 13,500,000. Going to Vanessa Fusco's telephone, the Magritte at $13,500,000. Sold to you, paddle 7135. Lot 9, the Picasso Grand Vase au danseur, and for this beautiful terracotta, let's start here at 250, 350,000, at 350. At 400,000 with Max. At 400,000, it is with you for now. At 400,000, ahead of you in the room. At 400,000. At $400,000. 450,000. Welcome to you, sir. At 450 in the room, in a new place. At 450. With you for now. At 450. At 450. At 450. Still with you and selling at 450. Against you here. Against you, Joanna. At 450. Going to sell it. At 450. Still with you. Coming in? No, perhaps, yes. At 450, it should be now, ideally. At 450, otherwise I'm going to have to sell it. And I think 480 if you wish. It is with you otherwise. At 450 against both of you. At 450. At 450,000. Joanna, selling now to you at 450. To let it go. Joanna. Sold to you at 450. Paddle 301. The Clifford Still, lot 10, 1945. And let's start here at 3,258,000 at 4,200,000 at 4,200,000 now. 4,500,000 with Joanna Simkovic, the head of private sales in New York, at 4,800,000. Welcome to you in the back at 4,800,000. 5 million at 5 million. We'd like 5.5 at 5,500,000. It's back in the room now at 5.5. We'd like 6. $5.8. Would you like 6? 6 million. $6.2 at 6,200,000. It's back here, we sure? At 6,200,000. Next would be 6.4. Selling otherwise to Joanna's phone, the Clifford Still, at $6,200,000. At 6,200,000. At 6.2 for you then, and selling at $6,200,000. Sold to paddle 7128. Lot 11, the Giacometti Portrait of Annette, le nu dans l'atelier, 1954. Beautiful condition, unlined, and for the first time at auction. It is very nice. And let's start at 4,800,000, 5 million, 5,500,000 at 5,500,000, at 5 million, 6 million, of course, with Nick Cinque, at 6 million, at $6 million on a first telephone, at $6 million, 6,500,000, at 6 million 5, 7 million, at 7 million, back with you, Nick, at $7 million. It's ahead of you all in the room for the Giacometti at $7 million. At 7 million. Still with you for now at $7 million. At 7 million, are we all through? And selling to Nick's telephone against you in the back and on the aisles at $7 million. Going to you, Nick, at 7 million. Sold 7 million to pal 7131. The Hepworth, The Family of Man, figure 2. It's a beautiful large sculpture which you've admired on your way up. The Barbara Hepworth, conceived in 1970 and acquired directly from the artist's estate. And let's start here at 5 million, 5 million, 5, 6 million, 6 million, 500,000. 7 million right away with Cat Whiting, of course, at 7 million. At $7 million now. At 7 million. It is here with you for now at 7 million 500. 8 million. At 8 million. It is with you, Cat, ahead of you in the room, at $8 million with Cat Whiting. At 8 million for the Hepworth, against you online, at $8 million for the monumental Hepworth. And we're all through at $8 million. I'm going to sell it to you, Cat, at 8 million. Fair warning to the room. And going to you, Cat, I think it's yours. Sold 8 million to battle 7122. Lot 13, ladies and gentlemen. Lot 13, the beautiful Mondrian masterpiece from 1922, an extraordinary work. Majority of the square format paintings being now in public institutions. It is with us here this evening for you. And we should begin at $34 million. At $34 million, at $34 million, $35 million, at $35 million now, at $35 million, $36 million, 37 million with Alex Rotter in the first telephone, at 37 million, at 38 million, 39 million, at 40 million, 41 million, at 41 million, it's back with Alex Rotter's telephone, at 41 million. At 41 million then, it is for you for now, and against the other phones. Against you, Isa and Kat, at $41 million. Still with you, Alex, and ahead of you in the room, at $41 million. Any more in the room? Selling otherwise to Alex's phone for $41 million. Last chance on the phones. I'm watching you. At 41 million, I am waiting. At 41 million, it is for you, Alex, and selling at $41 million. Going to you, Alex, at 41 million. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you very much.
7130. Congratulations. Lot 14. Lot 14, the Peach, 1964. And for this early Martin, we shall start here at 2.8, 3 million, 3,200,000, at 3,200,000, 3,500,000 with Margot Rosenberg from the Client Advisory Department against you, Laszlo, at 3,500,000, at 3,500,000, 3,800,000 now, at 3,800,000, 4 million, at 4 million. Back with you, Margot. At $4 million, ahead of you in the room, at $4 million. With Margot's telephone, ahead of you in the room, at 4 million, are we all through? Selling otherwise to Margot's telephone, last chance in the room, at $4 million. I think it's yours. At $4 million against you, Catherine. at 4 million to paddle 71.48. Lot 15, the Glenligan. And for this work from 1990, shown at the Whitney Biennale and at the Artist Retrospective, let's start here at 1,678,000, 1,009,000, at 1,900,000, at 1,009,000, 2 million. Well, then I'm here selling it at 2 million. It is with you for now at 2 million, 2,200,000, at 2,200,000, 2,300,000, at 2,300,000, no, at 2,300,000 then, back with you, Anna, at 2,300,000. I'm going to sell it for $2,300,000. Against you, Peter. At 2,300,000, going to Anna's telephone at 2,300,000. Sold 2,300,000 to paddle 71.78. The Richter, lot 16. And let's start here at 5,550,000, at 5,500,000, at 6 million. Back with you, Alex, at 6 million, 6,500,000, at 6,500,000, at 6,500,000, 7 million. No, at 7 million. Back with you, Alex, at 7 million, ahead of you in the room, and on the telephone, Sian and Olivier for the Richter. At $7 million, going to Alex's phone. Any advance in the room for the Richter at $7 million, selling then to you, Alex, at 7 million. Sold, 7 million.
7170, please.
7170. Lot 17, the last supper. Andy Warhol's were from 1986, formerly in the Yolas estate. And let's start here at 3,500,000, 4,400,000, 5,480, at 4 million, 5 million. Back with you, Rachel, at $5 million against you, Mila, at 5 million, at $5 million. It is with you for now at 5,500,000, 5,600,000, at 5,600,000, 5,700,000. Back with you, Sarah, against both of you now. At 5,700,000, 5,800,000, Sarah, yes? 5,800,000 in a new place. With Sarah Tamer from the Client Advisory. At 5,800,000, at 5,800,000. Against both of you, at 5,800,000, Sarah. Or Rachel, at 5,800,000, one more, with Sarah otherwise, and selling for 5,800,000. At 5,800,000, fair winning, Sarah. I'm going to sell it. No, yes, no. At 5,800,000, Sarah, shall I let it go? I'm letting it go. It is for you, Sarah. El Tamer, sold, 5,800,000 to PAL 2246. The Magritte, L'Empire des Lumières, this wonderful work, the first from the series, formerly owned by Nelson Rockefeller. 1949, a mythical composition by the artist. And let's start here at 24, 25, 26, $27 million now. At 27 million. At 27 million. 28 million with Alex Water at $28 million. At $28 million, it is here on the phone with Alex Water for 29 million. At 30 million. At $30 million. At $30 million with you then. And selling the Magritte for $30 million. L'Empire des Lumières here at Rockefeller Center, against you all, online and in the room, at $30 million. Going to you, Alex. Sold, 30 million.
7093, please.
7093. Lot 19, the Léger, Les Trois Personnages from 1922. The other version is at the Met. And for the superb work, let's start you at 4,258,000, at 4,800,000, at $5 million with Connor Jordan, at 5 million, at $5 million now. It is here with you, Connor, at 5,500,000. At, yes, 6 million. No, at 6 million with you, Connor, against you, Lucian and Saskia, at $6 million with you there, at 6 million, fair warning, Jesse, David, at $6 million. Are we all through? Keith? No, perhaps? 6,200,000. In a new place now, Jesse Fertig at $6.2 million. At 6.2. Further Léger, 6,300,000 now in the room against both of you. Saskia or Lucian, perhaps at 6.3 million with the gentleman here against you, Connor. 6,400,000. No, are we sure? At 6.4 million. It is back here with you, Jesse. At 6.4. The other version is at the Met. 6,500,000. At 6.5 million. Do you want 6.6, Jesse? At 6.5 million. It is here, still with you. Gonna have to sell it at 6 billion. 6 million 6. At 6 million 6. In euros, it's 5.9. At 6 billion 6. With you, Jesse, and selling then for $6,600,000. No regrets. At 6.6. One bid away. And 50. And 50 at 6 billion, came all the way at 6,650,000. It is with you now for 6,650,000. Jesse, are you still with us? 6.7. No, we sure? At 6.7 million. They're the boss. At 6.7 million and selling, we sure? To you, Jesse, at 6.7. Last chance, all of you in the room, at 6.7 million. Sold to you, Jesse, at 6.7. 2222. The Dubuffet Lot 20 Joyeuse Commère, 1952. And let's start here at 150, 200,000, 250, 280, at 280,000, 300,000 with Nick Cinque, at 300,020 with you, sir, in the back, at 350, 380. Would you like 400 in the back? At 380, it is with you here. At 380, 400,000 here. At 400,000 against both of you. At 400,000, still with you here. At 400 against both of you. Would like 420, either of you? No? At 420, with Edmond Francais against you, Maria. At 420. No? At 420. It is with Edmond Francais. 450,000 with Maria Loss, the head of the client advisory department, against you, Edmond. At 450. No? At 450. With you then. And selling to Maria's telephone, no regrets. At 450. For the Dubuffet, to Maria's phone at $450,000. Sold to Pal 2405. Lot 21, the Yves Klein, 1956, a blue monochrome. And let's start you at 1,200,000, at 1,500,000, at 1,600,000 with Alessandro. Welcome, Alessandro. At 1,700,000. At 1,700,000 now. 1,800,000. At 1,800,000 for the Yves Klein. At 1,800,000. It is with you for now, Ale. At 1,800,000 ahead of you in the room. At 1,800,000. At 1,800,000. I'm going to sell it. At $1,800,000 going to you, Ale. At 1,800,000. At 1,800,000. Sold 1,800,000. Battle 7124. The Rothko, 1968, beautiful work. Early work from 1968 for this paper laid down on panel, coming from a series following the famous Seagram murals. And let's start you at 4,500,000, 5,000,000, 5,500,000. At 5,500,000, $6 million with Emily Kaplan. At $6 million. At $6 million for the Rothko. At 6,500,000. 7 million. No, at $7 million. Back with you, Emily. At $7 million, are we sure? At $7 million, going to you then, ahead of you in the room, for $7 million. For the Rothko, last chance, everyone. At $7 million, it is for you. 7149. Lot 23. Lot 23, composition avec trois figures et une tête. It's beautiful and rare Giacometti bronze, cast in 52. 8 versions, 6 of which are in museums. And let's start you at $5 million, at $5,500,000, at $5,500,000, at $5,500,000, $6 million, at $6 million, at $6,500,000, at $6,500,000, $7 million now with Catherine Arnold, at $7 million, the head of department for Europe, at $7 million here on a first telephone, at $7 million, at $7,500,000, $8 million, at $8 million, back with you, Catherine, at $8 million, $500,000, $9 million, at $9 million, I think it's with you then, at $9 million, I'm going to sell it, at $9 million, selling Laplace to Catherine's telephone, ahead of all of you in the room, at $9 million, last chance everyone, at $9 million, it is yours, Catherine, at $9 million, to pile 7132. On to lot 25, the Gonzalez from Sévère, 1936, for this superb and very rare work. And let's start here at $3,200,000, 3,538, $4 million, at $4 million, $4,200,000, 4,500,000, at $4,800,000, at $4,800,000, at $4,800,000 for the Gonzalez, at $4,800,000. For this unique iron, at $4,800,000. For the Gonzalez, at $4,800,000. It's against you, Rachel and Joanna, at $4,800,000. At $4,800,000, I'll roll through. It's ahead of you online at $4,800,000, $5,500,000, $6,000,000, $500,000. No, it's against you. At $6,500,000. One more. At $6,500,000, it's against you. At $6,500,000. Are we sure? At $6,500,000 for the Gonzalez, ahead of you in the front. At $6,500,000. Last chance, everyone else, online and on the phones at 6.5. And it's a pass at 6.5. On to lot 26 for the 1967 de Kooning, Woman and Child. And let's start here at $2,468,000, at $2,800,000. $3 million with Joanna Flam at $3 million. At $3 million. It is here with you for now at $3,200,000. At $3,200,000 now. $3,500,000. $3,800,000. Welcome, madam. At $3,800,000 now in the room against you. At $3,800,000. At $3,800,000. It is here with you, madam. At $3,800,000. $4 million in a new place at $4 million. At $4 million, it's on the phone. Nick, you shouted a bit. Somewhere here. $4,200,000, madam, yes? It's already at $4 million on the phone. With you, Maria, but we can try $4,200,000 if you want. $4,100,000 in a new place now, in the room. At 4.1. $4,200,000. $4,300,000. $4,400,000. $4,500,000. $4,550,000. Next would be for 6 Maria at $4,550,000. 4,600,000. No? At 4,600,000 then. Back with you, Maria. And selling 4,700,000 in a new place with Rachel White. And 50. 4,800,000. At 4,800,000. And 50. 4,900,000. And 50. 5 million. Try 1 or 2 at 5 million. And 1. 5 million 2. 5 million 3. 5 million 4. 5 million 5. 5 million 6. 5 and 50. 5,650,000. And 7. And 50. $5,000,008. And 50. At 5,850,000. Are we sure, Rachel? Going away to Maya's phone and selling for $5,850,000 for you, Maya, at 5,850. It is yours, paddle 2412. Lot 27, Mère et l'Enfant, superb 1922 neoclassical work for this oil on canvas of superb scale. And let's start here at $4,500,000, at $4,500,000, at $4,500,000, $4,800,000 now, at $4,800,000, at $4,800,000 now, at $4,800,000, $5 million with you, David, on the first place, at $5 million now, at $5 million with David Clive Desvan, at $5,500,000, at $5,500,000 now, at $5,500,000, $6 million, at $6 million, at $6 million. It is here with you at $6 million. With David's phone, I'm going to sell it against all the other phones for this 1922 painting. Last chance, Jesse, Connor, and Giovanna for $6 million. Fair warning at $6 million. Fair warning, Keith. Any more? I'm selling it to you. Fair warning online at $6 million. Going down at $6 million. It is yours, David, at $6 million. Paddle 7180. Lot 28, the Max Ernst collage, 1919. Étamine Marseillaise de Harpe, and let's start you at 80, 90, 110, 120,000 now, 120 at 120,000, at 120, 130,000 with you, Utah. 140,000 with Joseph from the London office. Against you, Utah, at 140. 150,000 now. Back with you, Utah. At 150. At 160,000. Back with you, Joseph. At 160. At 170,000 now. At 170. 180,000 in the room. At 180 against both of you. At 180, 190,000, 200,000. At 200,000, it's still with you. At 200,000. At 210,000, we'd like 220, 220,000. It's already 220 in the room, but I'll take 230 from either of you. At 220. Still with you. At 220. At 220,000. 230,000 in a new place. 240. At 240 now. $260,000, 50,000. Yes, 250. Would you like 260? 260,000. At 260. It is still here in the room. 280,000. Would you like 290? No? At 280,000 then, with Alice and selling it ahead of you in the room. At $280,000, Alice, it's yours. At 280, total 2269. Lot 29, the Maxence Peuple des Oiseaux. And for this nice frottage from 32, let's start here at 35, 45,000. At 45,000 now. At 50,000. With you, Olia, at 50,000 for the cataloger from the evening sale at $50,000. With Olia on the telephone, 60,000 with you, Joseph, 70,000 with Olivier at 70 now. No, 60 with you, Joseph. You're happy at 60, Joseph? Yes, 70,000 with you, Olia. At 70 against both of you. At 70,000. Joseph, would you like 80? At 70,000, still with you, Olia. I'm going to sell it for $70,000. 75,000 in new place. With you, Vanessa. At 75. At $75,000 against both of you. With you, Vanessa. And selling at $75,000. Going to you at $75,000. Total 2277. The Barnett Newman, lot 30. And let's start here for this early work at 150, 60, 80, 190 at 190,000. 200,000 with you, of course, at 200,000. At 200,000, ahead of all of you in the room, and I can sell it for 200,000. No? At 200, going to you then for 200,000. Fair warning to all of you in the room for $200,000. Going to then on the telephone at 200, it is yours. Total 2422. On to lot 31, the David Smith Egyptian landscape. And for this early bronze of 1951, let's start here at 650, 750, 800,000, at $800,000. At 800,050 with Joanna Flam. At 850,000. At 900,000. At 900,000. And 50. No, at 950 with Joanna. Are we sure? I'm going to sell it then for 950 for the David Smith at $950,000. Sold to you, Joanna, 950, pile 7179. The John Graham, lot 32, head of a woman. And let's start here at 40, 50, 60, 70,000, 80,000 with you, sir, in the back at 80,000. It is with you for now at 80,000. At 80,000 against several telephones. There is for you for now. I'm going to sell it. 90,000 with you, Emily, 100,000. And 10 at 120, and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60. I loved your bidding, Anna. You should continue doing that way. At 160, it is here against you, Sarah. At 160, Emily, perhaps. At 160 for you. I'm going to sell it at $160,000. It is still with the same bidder. At 160 with you here. Utah, welcome back. At 170 and 80. At 100, would you like 190? 190,000, 200,000. Would you like 220, Utah? From our Zurich office. At $200,000. 220,000. Would you like 230? Yes, 230,000. Would you like 240, Utah? At 230 now. 240,000. No? At 240 then, with you, Utah, and selling at $240,000, going to you against the phones at 240. At 240,000. It is for you. PAL 2289. The lot 33, the Rauschenberg from 75. And let's start here at 25, at 25,000, at $25,000. 30,000 with Giovanna Petazzoni. At $30,000. At 30,000, 35,000, 40, 45,000, 50, 45. At 45,000, 50,000 with you, Kat. 55,000 with Giovanna against both of you. At $55,000 against 60,000. At 60,000 now. Back with you, Kat, Giovanna. No, yes, perhaps. At 60,000 and selling against you in the room. To you, Kat, at $60,000. At 60,000. It is yours, paddle 2402. The Andy Warhol Mao, lot 34. And let's start here at 2,683 million at $3 million. At 3,200,000 with you, Alex, at 3,200,000. At 3,200,000, 3,500,000. At 3,500,000 now. 3,800,000. No, at 3,800,000. Back with you, Alex. We sure? At 3,800,000, I'm going to sell it. At 3,800,000, ahead of you online and in the room. At $3,800,000. Last chance, everyone. At 3,800,000. It is yours. 38. 7120. Lot 35. Johnny Tomorrow, 1984. And for this Ed Rouchet, let's start you at 550, 650, 750. At 750,000. 800,000 with you, Nick. At 800,000, I can sell it for $800,000 against all of you in the room. At 800,000 for the Ed Rouchet. Anyone at 800,000? At $800,000, fair warning online, and going to you, Nick, for $800,000. Nick, I think it's yours. At 800,000, sold to paddle 7182. Lot 36, the Stan Douglas, 1974. And I have interest at $10,000, and I can sell it here at $10,000, ahead of you in the room, at $10,000. At $10,000, any advance at $10,000. At 10,000. At 10,000 it is here, and selling at $10,000. Sold 10,000 to paddle 1,000. Lot 37, the Hodges Her World. And let's start here at 280, 320. 400,000 right away with Alex Marshall. At 400,000, it is here with you, Alex. At 400,000, ahead of you in the room. At 400,020, where's Jana Simkoviak? At 420, would like 450, Alex? At 420,000. And 50. And 70. Yes, was at 470. Would you like 500, Alex? At 470 now. At 470 and selling to Joanna's phone for 470,000, to pile 2436. The Kerry James Marshall, lot 38. Lost Boys. And let's start here at 1,456,700, at 1,700,000. 1,008,000 with Issa Loria at 1,900,000. At 1,009,000, of course. 2 million. 2,100,000. At 2,000,001. It's against both of you. At 2,000,001 here in the room. At 2,000,001. No, it is for you for now. Fair warning in the back. At 2,000,001, are we sure? At 2,000,001, going to you then. At 2,1. At $2,100,000. It's yours. Battle 234. On to lot 39 for the last lot of the Riggio collection. Yes. And we shall start here for Cagney, this unique version, the other one being at MoMA. And we shall start at 1,200,000, with me in the book, at 1,600,000. At 1,600,000, I can sell it to my absentee bid for the Cagney. At 1,600,000 for the Warhol. At 1,650,000 and 50 with Joanna Flown. At 1,650,000. Fair warning to the room and selling to you, Joanna. 1,700,000, somewhere here. Welcome. At 1,700,000. Would you like 50? And 50. No? At 1,750,000 then. With you, Joanna. 1,800,000 in a new place. At 1,800,000. And 50? And 50. 1,900,000. At 1,900,000. No, at 1,900,000. It is here with you on the stage. Against you, Joanna, I'm selling for 1,900,000. Sold to battle 320. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be seeing you shortly in a few minutes. Thank you for participating to the Riggio collection. Thank you.
Remedios Varo, a visionary surrealist, one of the few women to shape the movement from within. In Revelación, time bends. The clockmaker sits at his bench, surrounded by grandfather clocks, each presenting a quarter past midnight. Facing the revelation through the window, encountering a new conception of time. An avid student of the sciences, Varo probed the thresholds of the natural and supernatural in her mature work, as seen in the superb Revelación painting, which masterfully and marvelously renders the flow and flux of time. Painted in 1955, this crucial period marks the pinnacle of Varo's career and manifests the technical skill and speculative imagination for which she is renowned.
Good evening and welcome back to Christie's for our 20th Century Art Evening Sale. I'm delighted to continue as your auctioneer together with my colleague David Kleiweg-Deswan, who will be conducting the second part. This evening's sale, which was put together by Rachel White-Young and Imogen Kerr and their teams, will begin with art from the Bass House, the next chapter in the collecting story of Anne and Sid Bass, masterpieces from their Fort Worth home by Rothko, Stella, and Calder will lead us off, followed by artists who defined the 20th century anchored around Claude Monet's magical poplars. This evening, some of our lovely bidders are wearing jewelry from the collections of Anne Bass and Lucille Coleman, featured in our upcoming luxury auctions around here this evening. Before we begin, please remember that the purchase price payable is the sum of the final bid plus the buyer's premium and all applicable sales or use taxes. Bidders should note that the auctioneer may open the bidding on any lot below the reserve by placing a bid on behalf of the seller. I, as the auctioneer, may continue to bid on behalf of the seller up to the amount of the reserve, either by placing consecutive bids or by placing bids in response to other bidders. The sale website includes symbols and notices for any lot subject to a guarantee fully or partially financed by a third party. In addition, each of lots 41, 59, 62, and 69 has a guarantee fully or partially financed by a third party who may be bidding on the lot and may receive a Christie's financing fee. For more information on full details of buyer's premium rates, conditions of sale, and all catalog symbols, please see the catalog on christies.com. And with this, we shall begin with lot 40, the Sévérini Danseuse from 1915. Beautiful work from the Bass collection, shown here. And let's start here at 1,100,000, 1,200,000, 1,500,000, right away with Max Carter, setting the tone at 1,500,000 ahead of you online, at 1,600,000, 1,700,000, at 1,700,000 now, ahead of you online in France, at 1,700,000. Catherine, come back, at 1,700,000, with you, at 1,700,000, c'est contre vous en France, at 1,700,000, I'm going to sell it, at 1,700,000, ahead of you here in the room, at 1,700,000, fair warning against the two, and 8 in a new place, 1,900,000, at 1,900,000, would like two, either of you, at 2 million, with Jesse Fertig, 2,100,000, at 2,100,000 now, at 2,100,000. For the Sévérini, and 50, at 2,150,000, 2,200,000, at 2,200,000, at 2,200,000, and 50, 2,300,000, At 2,000,003, Jesse, David, Connor. At 2,000,003, one more. At 2,000,003, still with Max's phone.
50, sir.
And 50. 2,000,004. At 2,4. 2,005. At 2,005. And 50.
Six, sir.
2,006. At 2,006. At 2,006. One more, Max. With you, Jesse. And selling at $2,600,000. The first lot of the Bass collection for you, Jesse. Against you in the room. At 2,006,000. At 2,600,000. It is yours. 2,006,000 to pal 2408. The Calder, Gypsophila from 1949, acquired from Pearls in 1968, one of only two versions known. And let's start here at 4,200,000, 4,500,000, 4,800,000, at $4,800,000 now. At 4,800,000, at 4,800,000. It's against you, Alex, at 4,800,000. 5 million with Alex Rotter now at 5,500,000. 6 million. At 6 million, Margot. No more. At 6 million with you, Alex. I'm going to sell it against you in the room at $6 million for the Calder. Any advance? At $6 million for the Calder Mobile. Any advance online, perhaps? 6 million? 2 or 5? What was that? 2 or 5? 6,200,000. At 6,200,000. Where's Sarah Friedlander? Alex? 6,400,000. 6,600,000. 6,800,000. 7 million. At $7 million. No, at 7 million then. I think it's yours, Sarah. Fair warning to the room. Online at $7 million. Going to Sarah's telephone at 7 million then. It is yours, 2440 for 7 million. Lot 42, the Morris Lewis from 1960. And let's start at 1,567,800 at 1,800,000. 1,900,000 with Abby Bisbee from the Client Advisory Department at 1,900,000 now. At 1,900,000. At 1,900,000. And going to Abby's phone, ahead of you in the room. 2 million. Back with you, Sarah, now. No, at 2 million with you, Sarah, then. At $2 million. Last chance. At $2 million against you all in the room. At 2 million, Sarah, it's yours. 2 million to battle 2264. Bless you. Lot 43, the Stella. And let's start here at 3,258,000, 4,500,000, 4,800,000 at 4,800,000. 5 million with Max Carter at $5 million. It is with you for now at $5 million. At $5 million. It is here at 5,500,000. At 5.8. At 5,800,000. Are we sure? At 5,800,000 with you, Max. I'm going to sell it at 5,800,000 with Max Carter, fair winning online, and in the room at 5.8. It is yours. Sold 5.8. 71.75. Lot 44. Lot 44. Ooh. Number 4, 1950. For the first time up at auction, we had to set the tone. First included in the seminal Rothko exhibition at MoMA. And for you this evening, we shall begin at $25 million, at $25 million, at $25 million, at $25 million, $26 million, at $26 million, at $26 million, $27 million with the lady here, $28 million, $29 million, $30 million, $32 million, at 32, 31 million with the lady then, at 31 million, 32 with you. It was a smaller bit. It's nice when it happens that way, no? 32,500,000 back with the lady, at 32,500,000, at 32,500,000. Next would be 33. At 32,500,000. It is with you, madam, at 32,500,000. Still with you, on the aisle, at 32,500,000. 32,500,000, fair one to the other phones and the rest of the room. At $32,500,000, selling to the lady here in the room. At 32,500,000, Alex, give me a sign, yes or no, or perhaps. At 32,500,000, it is for you. I'm going to sell it for 32 million. I am at 32,500,000. For who, Nick? At 32,500,000, madam, it's yours. Congratulations to panel 294. Congratulations. Lot 45, blue, black, red, this magnificent Ellsworth Kelly. What a fantastic spot in Paul Rudolph's house. And let's start here at $2,468,000, at $3 million with Sarah Friedlander, $2,200,000, $3,500,000, at $3,500,000, $3,600,000, at $3,600,000 with Max, at $3,600,000 now. No, at $3,600,000. It is here with Max Carter, head of you all in the room, at $3,600,000. For the Ellsworth Kelly, any advance? Going to sell it otherwise to Max Carter's telephone for $3,600,000. Are we all through at 3,600,000? It is yours, Max, at 3,600,000. 7173. Lot 46, the Stella, 1970, magnificent work. And let's start here at 550, 650, 700,000. And 50, with you, Katie, at 750, of course. At 750,000. At 750, ahead of you all in the room at 750. 800,000 with the gentleman up front at 800,000. We'd like 850 and 50 in a new place. Would you like 900,000 and 50? Would you like $1 million? 1 million. 100. Would you like 1,200,000? 1,200,000. Do you want to try 50? At 1,300,000. It is here with Alessandro. 1,350,000. Back with you, Katie. At 1,350,000. It worked, Katie. At 1,350,000. Then with you, against you, Alessandro. Are we sure? At 1,400,000 ahead of you in the room. At 1,400,000. Against both of you now. At 1,400,000. Next would be 1,500,000 ideally. At 1,400,000 with the gentleman now in a new place. At 1,400,000 against the 5 of you. At 1,400,000, still 1,500,000 with and 50. 1,450,000. No, it's back with you now. At 1,450,000, we'd like 1,500,000. 1,500,000. And 50. 1,600,000. 1,700,000. And 50. At 1,750. 1,000,008 and 50 and 50. At 1,850, 1,000,009, 2 million. 2,000,001, 2,2. 2,000,003, 2,000,004. 2,000,005, 2,000,006. 2,000,007. At 2,000,007, are we sure? At 2,000,007, with Sarah Friedlander's phone. We're going to sell it, no regrets here. At 2,000,007 then, and going to you, Sarah, for $2,700,000. Congratulations, panel 2264. The Andrews Martin, lot 47 from 75, acquired a half a century ago from Pace. And for this very rare piece, starting here at 2,22426, at 2,800,000, at 2,008,000, $3 million with Max Carter right away at 3 million, at $3 million, 3,002,000, at 3,002,000, 3,500,000, at 3,500,000, at 3,500,000 with Max, ahead of all of you in the room, and selling for 3,500,000, 3,008,000 with a lady. What's that? Online at 3,800,000. You have to come back online if you want to bid. At 3,800,000, it's with a lady. Excuse me? 3,600,000. At 3,600,000. So next would be 3,700,000 against either of you. At 3,600,000 and against you online. 3,700,000. Welcome to you in California. Would you like 3,800,000, madam? 3,800,000. At 3,800,000. It's here in the room, 3,900,000. Would you like 4? 4 million. Next could be 4,100,000 online. At 4 million, it is here. At Rockefeller Center. At $4 million. For Leonard Martin. I'm going to sell it. Last chance. And selling to you, madam, for $4 million. Sold 4 million. To paddle 311. Lot 48, the second Andrews Martin and the last lot from the Bass collection, presented for you this evening. And let's start here at 550, 650, 750, at 750,000, at 800,000, of course, with you, Margot Rosenberg, at 800,000. At 800,000, I could sell it for 800,000 at 850. Welcome back online at 850 now. At 850, and it's against all of you in the room. 900,000. At 950. At 950, would you like $1 million? And 1 million now. 1,100,000. 1,200,000. 1,300,000. At 1,300,000. And is still with you online, against you, Margot, at 1,300,000. And ahead of you in the room. At 1,300,000, selling for you online, ahead of you in the room, at $1,300,000. Sold to about a 3009. Lot 49, the Frankenthaler, from 1979. And let's start here at 1,234,556 at 1,700,000 now. At 1,700,000 ahead of you here. 1,800,000. Welcome, madam. At 1,008,000. At 1,800,000 with the lady here in the room. 1,900,000 with Abby. Would you like 2? 2 million. 2. Would you like 2.4? 2,000,004. 2.6. 2.8 or 2.7? 2,000,007. At 2,000,007 now. At 2,000,007. It's here with you, madam. Abby, Nick, Alice. At 2,000,007. And 8. Would you like 2.9? It's 2.8 back with Abby. Against either of you. No? Thanks for your bids. At 2,009,000 in a new place now with Joanna Simkowiak. At 2,009,000 in a new place. No, it's for you then, Joanna, I think. Against all of you in the room and selling for $2,900,000. 3 million. Welcome, Jen. At 3 million now. At $3 million. Would you like 3.2, Joanna? 3,100,000. 3.2. 3.3. At 3,003,000 with Joanna's phone, Jennifer. Yes, no. 3,004,000. Unit 5. At 3.5. With Joanna's phone. What are we doing, Jennifer? At 3,500,000 and selling. Unless you want to bid one more. Jennifer. At 3,500,000, it's going to Joanna's phone. Would you like to bid? 3.6. $2,700,000. No, at 3,700,000 then. I think it's yours, Joanna. And selling for $3,700,000 to Joanna's phone at 3,700,000. No regrets, at 3.7. It is yours, paddle 2254. Thank you. Lot 50 for the magnificent Monet shown here this evening for the first time in decades, having been with the same family for over 3 generations, and with us this evening after having been on loan at the Museum of Fine Arts of Boston. And for this masterpiece that we're presenting this evening, let's start here at $23 million, $24 million, at $24 million, $25 million, at $25 million, at $26 million, at $26 million, at $26 million, $27 million, at $27 million, $28 million with Vanessa Fusco, the head of department here in New York, at $28 million, at $28 million with you now, at $28 million on a first telephone. It is with you for now at $29 million. 29,500,000. 30 million against you, Keith Gill, at 30 million. 500,000. 32 million. 500,000. 32,500,000. No collusion. At 32,500,000. With Keith Gill against you, Vanessa, at 32,500,000. With Keith's telephone now and ahead of you in the room, at 32,500,000. It's against all of you here in the room at Rockefeller Center with Keith's telephone. I'm going to sell it. Last chance to you all in the room. David, Jesse, with you then, selling to Keith's telephone the Poplars for 32 million, 33 million in a new place with David. At $33 million. With David's phone, against you, Keith, Vanessa, and Christian, for 33 million. 500,000. 34 million. 500,000. 35 million. 500,000. 36 million. 200,000. 36.5. 36,500,000. With David, against you, Keith, Vanessa, and Rafaela, for $36,500,000. 37 million. At 37 million. David, you want to surprise us? At 37 million, it is still with you, Keith. At 37 million, thank you, David. And selling then the Monet Poplars here at Christie's to you, Keith, for $37 million. No regrets, David. Are we sure? Going to you then. Congratulations, Keith. Sold 37 million. At 37. I can't show you, but I'll find you. On to lot 51. Lot 51 for the Van Gogh. And for this early work, let's start you at 1,456,78, at 1,800,000, at 1,008,000, at 1,800,000 now, at 1,009,000 with Isa, at 1,900,000 with Isabella Loria. 2 million with the gentleman here in the room at 2 million now. At $2 million. At $2 million, Isa, would you like 2.2? At 2,200,000, would you like 2.4? 2,400,000. At 2.6, yes, 2.6 in a new place against both of you. Would you like 2.8, sir? 2,800,000 back in the room at 2.8 now. 3 million. Would you like 3.2? 3,200,000. 3,300,000. Are we sure? At 3,300,000 then, with Imogen Care, we could try 3,400,000. Against you, Isa, at $3,300,000. With Imo's telephone, are we sure? At 3,300,000, could try one more. Selling otherwise to Imogen Care's phone, no regrets, at $3,300,000. It is yours, paddle 2276. On to lot 52, the superb Dorothea Tanning, masterpiece by the artist, Endgame, 1944, a real museum piece. And let's start here at 650, 750, 800,000, and 50 with Jesse Fertig, of course, at 850,000, 900,000, and 50. 1 million with Olivier Camus, it had to be with you, at 1 million now, and 50. At 1,100,000 with you, Kat, at 1,200,000 with you, Vanessa, at 1,200,000 now against the four of you, at 1,200,000 ahead of you in the room, at 1,200,000 with Vanessa Fusco, at 1,200,000, 1,300,000, 1,400,000, at 1,400,000. One more, at 1,400,000. It is still here with you. At 1,400,000 against you, Sarah and Anna, at 1,500,000. 1,600,000. At 1,600,000. 1,700,000. No, at 1,700,000 then, it is with you, Kat. 1,800,000. Welcome to you, madam, in the room at 1,800,000 now, in a new place. Against the five of you at 1,800,000. At 1,800,000. And 50. Or 9. At 1,900,000 then, it is with you. Kat, what should we do? We'll sell it at 1,900,000 then, in the room. One more. At 1,900,000, still time, no, it's going to you, madam, then, at $1,900,000. Sold, 1,900,000 to paddle 289. Yes, it's a world record for the artist, so congrats. At 1,900,000. Lot 53 for the Remedios Varo, 1955. And let's start here at 2,800,000, 3,000,000, 3,200,000. 3,500,000 right away with you, Kat, at 3,500,000 with Catherine, at 3,500,000, 3,700,000, and 50, 3,750, at 3,750 now. Ahead of you here, 3,800,000, 3,900,000, would you like 3,900,000? At 3,800,000, it's with Connor Jordan against both of you. Would you like 3,900,000, madam? At 3,800,000. And 50 against both of you in the room now with the lady at 3,850,000. At 3,850,000. At 3,850,000. It is with you. 3,900,000 in a new place with Diana Brayman from the Latin American Paintings Department at 3,900,000. Would you like 50? 4 million. At 4 million. It is here with you, madam. 4,000,001 or 2? For 2? 4,000,002. Like for 4, madam. At 4,000,002 now. It's back on the phone. At 4,000,002 or 4,300,000, if it helps. At 4,000,002, 4,300,000, back with Olivier. At 4,003,000 now. at 4.3. Any more, madam? 4,000,004 at 4,000,004 now. 4.5. At 4,000,005. No. At 4,000,005 then, with you, Olivier. 4,000,046 at 4,000,006 now. 4,000,007. At 4,000,007 then, it is with Olivier. I'm going to sell it at $4,700,000. Fair warning to everyone, including you, Alex. At 4,007,000. 4,800,000. In a new place, Olivier, at 4,008,000. 4,900,000. 5 million. Next would be 5.2, Olivier, or 5.5 if you prefer, at 5 million. 5,100,000 at 5.1. At 5,100,000. You sure? At $5,100,000 with you, Olivier, at 5,000,001 and selling to you then, ahead of you in the room, at 5,000,001. Sold 5.1 to paddle 24.38. Lot 54 for the superb Richter from 68, one of the 4 scenes from the Corsica series. Superb example shown here. And let's start here at $7 million, $7,000,005, $8 million, at $8,500,000 right away with Catherine Arnold, at $8,500,000, at $8,500,000 here with you, Catherine, at $8,500,000, at $9 million, $9,200,000, at $9,200,000 for Corsica with Catherine Arnold against you, Elise and Katie, at $9,200,000. Are we sure? Selling then to you for $9,200,000. At $9,200,000. At $9,200,000. At 9.2. It looks very good behind you, Alex. At 9,200,000. 9,400,000. Would you like 9.6, Catherine? Or anyone in the room? At 9,400,000, 9,500,000. I mean 600,000. I mean 7. Nine eight. Nine. 10 million. 10-1. 10-2. 10-3. 10,000,003.
10-4.
10-4.
10-5.
10-5. 10-6. 10-7. 7. At 10,000,007. It's with you, Catherine. Fair winning, Alex. 10-8. 10-9. 11 million. Try 11. Try 2. Just try it. Just try. Just try 11.2. Just ask if you could say, can I try 11.2? Just at 11 million, it is with you here. 11,100,000. 11,200,000 in a new place in the room at 11,200,000. At 11,200,000. 11,300,000. 11,400,000. 11,500,000. At 11,500,000. Back with you, Alex. Are we sure? At 11,600,000. 11,700,000. 11,800,000. 11,900,000. 12 million. Alex, try 12.2 at 12 million. 100,000. 12.2. 12.3. Bunny, have we planned dinner for our guests tonight? Yeah. At 12.3. 12.4. 12.5. 'It is worth fighting for, mind you. At 12,600,000. 12.7. 'Yes? That's yes? Yes, I'm waiting. Yeah. At 12,700,000. 12.8. 12.9. 'Sorry, Catherine. Thanks for your bids. With Alex Roger then, and selling for $12,900,000. Congratulations, Alex. At $12,900,000. Magnificent painting. 2263. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Lot 855 is withdrawn, which is a perfect transition to change auctioneers, and it's my pleasure to pass the gavel to my colleague, David Klavik de Zwaan. Thank you.
Adrian, thank you. Good evening, everyone. On we go with lot number 56. This is the Robert Motherwell from a private Swiss collection and acquired in 1982. Elegy to the Spanish Republic, number 160. And here I can start at $2 million, 2.2, 2,400,000, 2.6 with freeze. At $2,600,000, 2.6, 2,800,000. $3 million. At $3 million now. At $3 million with Sarah. At $3 million. The bid is here. I can sell. It's ahead of the room, ahead of you online. I'm selling for $3 million. Sarah. Sold to you 7136. 3 million. And lot number 57 is next, the first of the fabulous Delvaux from a European collection. This, Le Jardin Nocturne, exquisite painting from 1942. And here I can open at 2 million, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, $2,800,000 I have already, at 2,000,008. At $2,800,000. 2.8. At $2,800,000, the bid is here, I can sell. Are we all done? At $2,800,000. Last chance. Fair warning to the phones. At $2,800,000. Sold 2.8. And that is the pedal 7145. That brings us to the Von Stuck, lot number 58. The Sin, Die Sünde. Beautiful symbolist work on paper, previously in the collection of the King of Serbia. And I can open this now at $150, $160, $170,000, $180, thank you, $190, $200,000 with Ollie, $220,000, $250,000 with Ollie at $250. 280,000 with Jan, 300,000 if you like, yes, 300, 300,000. Rachel's bid. On my left, at 300, 320,000, Alex. At 320, still lots of you in this, at 320, 350, 350, Rachel's bid. For the Von Stuck, 380,000. 380, with Xian. $400,000, thank you, sir, in the room on the aisle, thank you, at $400,000, ahead of all the phones. It's with you at $400,000. Any advance now at 400. 400 is the bid. For the Sin, for the Von Stuck at $400,000. Last chance Ollie, and Cian, and Gio, and the rest of you, 420,000. New bidder, 420. For the Franz Von Stuck. With you at 420,000, 450 if you like. Try 450. 440? Yeah, 440. We'll go in 20s. 440. 460 is next. At $440,000. 460 if you like. With you, sir, at the moment, ahead of the phones. 460 is bid. Here on my left, third row, at 460,000. 480, 480,000. No more? Thank you for the bids. It's at $480,000. Last call for this, all done at 480. Sold 480. Do you have a number? You don't have a, no? Do we know who you are? Yeah, I think we probably do. $480,000 with you, sir. And lot number 59 is next. This is the fabulous Picasso from the collection of Nanette and Herbert Rothschild, the Vue de Notre Dame, acquired by the family in 1957. And I can start this at $2,400,000 for the Picasso, at $2,400,000, $2,600,000 with Connor at 2.6 now, $2,800,000 at 2.8, $3 million. $3,100,000 with Maria. At $3,000,001. Maria's bid. Connor, one more.
3-2, please.
$3,200,000 with Paul. On this side now at 3-2. You sure, Maria? One more. Thank you for the bid. $3,300,000 in the room. 3,004,000. 3,005,000. 3,006,000. 3,700,000. 3,800,000. $4 million. 4-1. 4 is the bid. It's here in the room. Paul, no? Are you sure? Thank you so much for the bids. You have it then, sir, at $4 million, all done, selling the Picasso for $4 million. 4 million, puddle 298. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And lot number 60 is next. Lot number 60, the Rivera, La Ofrenda de Janitzio, the Day of the Dead. This picture acquired by our consignor in 1985. And I can open this one at 3.2, 3.5, $3,800,000. At $3,800,000 now. At $3,800,000. 3.8. $4 million, thank you. $4,200,000. At $4,200,000. Holding there. It's not yours, sir. At $4,200,000. 4.5 if you like. I'm at $4,200,000. 4.5 is next. At $4,200,000. Come back to me. One more could take. At $4 million. I'm at $4 million. $4,200,000. 4.5 is next. At $4,500,000. New place now with Diana. Not yours in the room, it's here. At $4,500,000. And ahead of the phones this side, ahead of the room and online. You're out. Last chance then at $4,500,000. Selling to you, Diana. Last call at $4,500,000. Sold to paddle 2273. 4-5. And on to lot number 61, the second of the Delvo this evening, Le Temple. Again, a painting from 1942. Wonderful classical picture. And let's open this at $1 million, 1-1, 1-2, $1 million, 3, $1,400,000. At $1 million, 4, $1,500,000. With Imogen, the head of the sale here, at $1,500,000. And selling at 1.5. Any advance? I'll be all through. The bid is here. I can sell at $1,500,000. It's there. Sold to you, Imo. Paddle 2428. Thank you. 1.5. Lot number 62 is next. This is the fabulous Giacometti, the Pharmacis. Beautiful lifetime cast. And again, I can start here at 2.4, 2.6, $2,800,000 for the Giacometti. $3 million now with Max. At $3 million with Max. On my left, at $3 million ahead of the room, Max has it. Any advance? At $3 million, I'm selling this side. Max has it for $3 million. Max, that's yours. $3 million. 7171. And on to lot number 63, the Calder. This from the collection of Ellen and Bernhard Blumenthal. Wonderful canvas from 1947, acquired by the Blumenthals in 1972. And here let's start at $480,000, $500,000, $550,000 now, at $550,000. At $550,000, $550,000, $600,000. Thank you, madam. $650,000 ahead of you. At $650,000. Yes, $700,000 on the aisle. At $700,000. Here on the aisle at $700,000. Any advance? Ladies bid. $750,000, thank you. $750,000, $800,000. One more, sir. The bid is here. $820,000 I'll take, thank you. $820,000. $850,000. You're sure? $880,000 if you like. No, at $850,000 with you. $880,000. 920, thank you, I like it. 920,000. $1 million. 1,050,000? You have to make a call? No? Thank you for the bids. At $1 million on this side, at $1 million. Here it is. Any advance? At $1 million, yes, 1,050,000. For the Calder. 1,150,000. You're out. Thank you so much for the bids. It's here then. You have it, sir, at $1,150,000. All done. Last chance. 1,150. You have it. Sold to paddle 234. 1,150. And lot number 64 is the Liechtenstein, the Kiss. It's a fully realized drawing from 1962. Very rare thing. And let's open this at 3.8, 4 million, $4,200,000 at 4,200,000. Any advance at 4.2. I'm at $4,200,000 for the Liechtenstein. 4,500,000 with Alex Rotter at 4,500,000 on this side. 4.5. Any advance I can sell at $4,500,000. Fair warning to the room. All done at 4.5. Imogen? Not this one. It's here then at 4.5. Sold for 5, and that is 2,256. Thank you. On to lot number 65. The Grand Andy Warhol, the Diamond Dust shoes from 1980. And here, let's start at 1,819, $2 million. At $2 million, 2,100,000, 2,200,000. At 2,300,000, where was that, Nick? 2,300,000. At 2.3, your bid. And I can sell at $2,300,000. Nick has it at the moment, 2.3. 2.4 if you like, Kat. 2,400,000. You're out. Thank you for the bids. It's with Kat then. I'm selling for $2,400,000. Last call. Sold 2.4 to 2,282. Thank you. 2,400,000. Lot number 66 is the Giacometti, the Tête au long cou. Fabulous profile. Lifetime cast, 1965. And here, let's open at 1,314, $1,500,000. At 1,500,000. Looking for 1.6. There it is, 1.6. 1,700,000. 1,800,000. Connor's bid at 1.8. Any advance now? At 1 million. 1,900,000 with Isa. Connor, one more. 1.9 is the bid. Yes or no, Con? You're out. Thank you. It's with Isa then at $1,900,000. Are we all done? 1.9. It's here. Isa, that's yours. Paddle 2,272. 1.9. And lot number 67. We move now to the Fontana from the Venice series, the Concetto Spaziale, dedicated to his wife, Teresita. And here I can start at $5 million. At $5 million for the Fontana. At $5 million. At $5 million. 5,500,000. $6 million. $6,200,000 with Edmond at 6.2. Here it is. And selling at $6,200,000. Are we all done? 6.2. There it goes. Last chance at 6.2. Sold to 79.7. Thank you, Edmond. 6,200,000. And lot number 68 is by Calder. This is the big horizontal red, inspired by water lilies, of course. And here we can open at 3,800,000, 4,000,000, $4,200,000. At 4,200,000. At $4,200,000 for the Calder. At 4,200,000. Any advance? At 4.2. Holding there for the moment. 4.2. At $4,200,000. 4.2. 4,500,000. 4,800,000. At 4.8 now for the Calder. At $4,800,000. $5 million. $4,900,000. There it is, on my right. 4.9. Any advance now at 4,000,009? Is that your bid? Ah, yes. Hi, Annika. At $4,900,000 and selling to you at $4,900,000. Last chance. Sold to paddle 309, 4.9. Thank you. Lot number 69 is next. This is the Andy Warhol self-portrait, coming to us from a Swiss collection and acquired circa 1980. And here let's open at $2,400,000, $2,600,000, $2,800,000 now. $3 million for Giovanna, $3,200,000, $3,500,000 at 3.5, and you advance at 3.5. Gio has it for $3,500,000 and selling to you, Gio. Fair warning this side, all done at $3,600,000. 3.6, you're out. Thank you, Giovanna. Excuse me. At $3,600,000. At 3.5 with you. 3.6 is in the room. At $3,600,000. No, take this one. Thank you so much. It's here then. At 3.5, you have a Gio. You're sure, sir? Letting it go. It's there. Sold 3.5 to 7,181. 3.5. And that brings us to lot number 70, the amazing Schiele, the stehende halbnackte Torsi, the standing half-naked torsos. This acquired by a consignor in 1979. And here I can open at $600,000, $650,000, $700,000 I have. At $700,000. It's bid with me already. At $700,000, $750,000, $800,000. At $800,000. $850,000, $900,000. Ahead of you, Abby. At $900,000. At $900,000. $950,000, $1 million I have. At $1 million. You're out? You're sure? Thank you for the bids. It's still with me then, with the absentee, at $1 million. Any advance? At $1 million. For the Schiele, at $1 million, Sian. At $1 million. You coming in? No? Fair warning then, I'm selling to the book. I have it here. At $1 million. You're out. Thank you so much. Last chance then for the Schiele, selling for $1 million. Sold 1 million, and that is to paddle 1,000. That brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to lot number 71. Lot 71, the Marc Chagall Autour de Vence, this epic cinematic picture, if you will. Lot number 71, the mid-1950s, and acquired by a consignor in the mid-90s. Here I can open at $2,400,000. At $2,400,000, $2,600,000 with J. At $2,600,000, $2,800,000. $3 million. At $3 million now with J. $3,200,000. Here in the room at 3.2. The bid is here. Ahead of the phones. Not yours, J. It's with you, sir. At $3,200,000. Any advance? $3,500,000. On the telephone. Was that Emma? I think it was. At $3,500,000. Do you want to try 3.7? 3.5 is the bid. So one more. 3,600,000. Yes, with you. 3,600,000. We're going to hundreds. 3,700,000. 3.7 I have already. It's here in the room. 3,800,000. You're sure? Thank you for the bids. At 3,800,000. 3,900,000 with Imogen now. New place at 3.9. Imogen's bid. Should go 4. New place now with Christian. $4 million. Still 1, 2, 3, 4. 4,100,000. 4 of you in this at 4.1. 4.1 is the bid. Any advance out? 4,200,000 with Imogen. 4-2. Any advance at $4,200,000. You're out, Anna Maria. Thank you for the bids. At $4,200,000, $4,300,000. Christian Albi at 4-3. $4,400,000. $4,500,000. $4,500,000. $4,600,000. For the Chagall now at $4,600,000. $4,700,000. Imogen, your turn. 4-7. At 4-7, still with Christian. Should we go 4-8? $4,800,000. $4,800,000. Christian, $4,900,000. You're out. Thank you, Imogen. Thank you so much. At $4,900,000. Connor, you coming in? Thanks anyway. It's with you then, Christian. Emma, you're out. Fair warning then. Christian, you have it for $4,900,000. Sold to paddle 2293. 49. And that brings us to lot number 72, the monumental Hoffman. This property from the Blanton Museum of Art, sold to benefit the Acquisitions Endowment Fund. And here we can open at $950,000, $1,100,000. On 1, 1, 2, 1,200,000, 1,300,000, 1,400,000 with Rachel. At 1,400,000, 1,500,000 if you like. 1,400,000 is here, and I can sell for $1,400,000. Any advance? At $1,400,000, the bid is here. I'm going to sell for 1,400,000. Rachel, sold to you. 1,400,000, paddle 7098. And that brings us to the second Chagall this evening, Le Joie au Cirque, this from 1983. And it's open at 1,200,000, 1,300,000, $1,400,000 now. 1,400,000, 1,500,000, 1,600,000, 1,600,000, 1,700,000 with Anna Maria. 1,700,000. There's the bid at 1,700,000. Any advance? 1,800,000, 1,900,000. Anna Maria's out. 1,900,000 is the bid. $2 million for Sarah. 2,100,000. 2,200,000. 2,300,000. Thank you, Emily. 2,300,000. 2,400,000. Emily. That looks complicated. $2,400,000. At 2,400,000. 2,500,000. 2,500,000. 2,600,000. The old phone switch. 2,600,000. 2,600,000 is the bid. You have it, Sarah, at the moment. $2,650. $2,700. Emily. 2,750. 2,800. 2,800 is bid. You're sure? You're out? Thank you, Emily. Thank your client. It's here then with Sarah. Last chance. Sarah, you have it for 2,800,000. Sold to 2250. 28. And lot number 74 is the superb Cubist bronze by Jacques Lipschitz. The Baigneuse lifetime cast. And here, let's open at 600, 650, $700,000. At 720,000 with you, sir. Thank you. 750,000 on the telephone. One more. Thank you so much. At 750 with Olivier at $750,000. Any advance? At 750, 780,000. Yes, 780. 780. $780, your bid. One more, Ali, you're out. $780,000. It's here in the room and selling. Fair warning to all of us. Selling to the gentleman for $780,000. Sold to 237. 780, yeah. So lot number 75, someone just whispered in my ear, is going to be the last lot this evening. Lot number 75, the Kandinsky, coming to us from a Japanese private collection. The Trois Ovales, the Paris period painting, 1942. And I can open this at $500,000, $550,000, $600,000 is bid already, with me on the book, at $600,000. $600,000, any advance at $600,000. It's here with me at $600,000. 640. Okay, 640, 680 I have. Huh? No more. Okay, fair enough. At $680,000 with the absentee bidder. We'll go in $40,000 increments. At $680,000. Let's do 700. Let's do it properly. 700 is your bid. Madam, would you like 750? Yes, 750. I have 800,000 at $800,000. 850 from either one of you. At $800,000. 820,000. 850,000. $880,000, thank you. 900,000. 920 and 50 for the Kandinsky. Try 980. Whew, it's been a long night, but okay, 960. We'll go intense. We'll just stay here all night. 960, 970, 980, and 90. $1 million. Try 1,050,000. 1,050,000. $1,070,000. Are you sure? Take 180 if you like. No? Thank you so much for the bids. It's here, then you have it for $1,050,000. The last lot this evening, selling to you, sir, for $1,050,000. It's yours. Sold $1,050,000. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for your bids and for joining us here this evening. We look forward to seeing you all for our day sales, starting with Impressionist and Modern Works on Paper at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and of course, for the 21st Century evening sale on Wednesday evening. Good night, thank you.